Actor Jussie Smollett has been found guilty of staging a hate crime in Chicago. Here are the details. Former Empire actor Jussie Smollett has been found guilty of 5 of 6 counts of felony disorderly conduct in Chicago, according to USA Today, with the case against him being that he hired 2 brothers, Abimbola Abel Osundairo and Olabinjo Osundairo, to stage a racist anti-gay attack on him on January 29, 2019, and then lied about it to police. The Chicago Tribune's timeline says Smollett left his apartment building at 1:45 a.m. that night to walk to a nearby Subway restaurant around the same time the brothers were seen in CCTV footage on the streets around his apartment building. At 2:04 a.m., Smollett arrived back at the intersection of North New and East North Water Streets near his apartment building, where he later claimed the 2 men approached him, shouted racist and homophobic slurs at him, struck him in the face, and poured an unknown substance on him, before wrapping a rope around his neck. In the aftermath of the incident, several key factors were used to challenge Smollett's account, including the fact that the day after the alleged attack, Smollett briefly called Abel Osundairo, and minutes later, Abel Osundairo returned the call before he and his brother boarded a flight to Nigeria. From there, police began to form a very different version of events. Court documents indicate that on January 2, 2019, Jussie Smollett received a threatening letter at the studio where the show Empire is filmed. It came with a white powdery substance that was later determined to be ibuprofen. Disappointed by the studio's handling of the letter, the actor met with friend Abel Osundairo and Abel's brother Ola 3 days later and asked them to stage an attack on him. According to prosecutors, Smollett planned for the assault to happen on the night of January 28th near his Streeterville apartment. He told Abel to hurt him, but not too badly, and Ola to put a rope around his neck, pour gasoline on him, and yell, "This is MAGA country." He then gave the brothers $100 to buy rope, gasoline, ski masks, gloves, and red MAGA baseball caps needed for the attack. On January 27th, Smollett drove the brothers to the scene where he wanted the assault to take place, pointing out a surveillance camera that would capture the incident. He instructed them to pour bleach instead of gasoline and not to bring their cell phones, then gave a $3,500 personal check payable to Abel. A flight delay on Smollett's part pushed the plan back to 2 a.m. on the 29th. The actor called Abel at 12:49 a.m. once his plane landed. Minutes later, the brothers hailed an Uber, switching to a cab midway that took them 3 blocks from the scene. The attack took place at 2:04 a.m. as instructed, though out of view of the camera. The brothers fled the scene afterward, taking a taxi home. This version of events saw the actor indicted in March of 2019 for 16 counts of felony disorderly conduct, but charges were initially all dropped just weeks later, with prosecutors saying Smollett had forfeited his $10,000 bail and done community service. Following backlash from the dismissal, a judge assigned special prosecutor Dan Webb to look into why the original charges were dropped. After weighing the extensive nature of Smollett's false police reports and the resources expended by Chicago PD to investigate his allegations, Webb determined there were reasonable grounds to further prosecute the actor, adding that it was in the interest of justice. After the COVID-19 pandemic also delayed the trial, the 1-week trial began at the beginning of December this year, with Smollett's attorney unsuccessfully arguing that the Osundairo brothers attacked Smollett because they didn't like him and that a $3,500 check the actor paid them was for training for an upcoming music video. CNN reports that a disorderly conduct charge for a false crime report is a Class 4 felony and punishable by up to 3 years in prison and a $25,000 fine. Cook County Judge James Lynn will now decide whether a concurrent or consecutive sentence for each count is warranted. However, Smollett's attorney said the defense team will appeal. The next court date is set for January 27th for post-trial motions.
The Union County Prosecutor's Office says Kayla Simone McKelvey took part in a rally on racial issues at Keene on November 17th. McKelvey then went to a computer station located in a campus library and posted anonymous threats on Twitter against black students. One of her anonymous tweets made a reference to a bomb, while another tweet talked about shooting black students. McKelvey then allegedly went back to the rally and tried to raise awareness about the threats. McKelvey, a black alum who graduated in May, is scheduled to appear in court in 2 weeks' time.
Hollywood's most recent scandal has nothing to do with celebrity hookups, but everything to do with what is being called America's largest college admission scam. The Associated Press reports that 50 people, including Oscar nominee Felicity Huffman and Lori Loughlin from Full House, as well as CEOs and college coaches, were involved in a bribery scam in which dirty rich parents paid their kids' way into top-ranking schools. Among these universities are Yale, Stanford, the University of Southern California, Wake Forest, and Georgetown. The cases span from 2011 to 2019. How much does it cost to buy your way into a university, you might ask? Well, during a press conference, FBI Special Agent Joseph Bonavolanta said the parents spent anywhere between $200,000 and $6.5 million for their children's admission. According to a cooperating witness, Laughlin allegedly paid $500,000 so both of her daughters could be enlisted as recruits for the USC rowing team. The thinking behind this was that it could help facilitate their admission. Neither had experience in the sport. According to court documents, Laughlin's husband even provided a cooperating witness implicated in the scam with staged photos of their daughters on a rowing machine for the application. Their younger daughter, Olivia Giannulli, who is a lifestyle YouTuber with nearly 2 million subscribers, was under fire just last year for posting a video in which she said, quote, "I do want the experience of like game days, partying. I don't really care about school, as you guys all know." Olivia has faced a lot of backlash after the allegations of bribery became public. On an Amazon-sponsored video where she gives a tour of her USC dormitory, a YouTube user commented, "Dorm room bought by Amazon, college admissions bought by mommy." Court documents show that Laughlin and her husband were told to say that their payment was a donation that would go to underserved kids. Both their daughters were accepted to USC. Huffman, on the other hand, paid a $15,000 bribe to alter her older daughter's SAT scores. The bribe was also disguised as a donation. No students were charged, according to Andrew Lelling, the U.S. Attorney for Massachusetts. In a press conference, Lelling said, "For every student admitted through fraud, an honest, genuinely talented student was rejected." The touching story of a homeless dude giving his last $20 to help a Jersey woman buy gas was actually all a part of a plan to get strangers to donate money to the fake Good Samaritan. According to the AP, Burlington County Prosecutor Scott Kofina announced criminal charges against the couple who lied to newspapers and TV stations, along with the homeless guy who was in cahoots with them the whole time. The over $400,000 donated to homeless man Johnny Bobbitt will be refunded to people who gave him money through a GoFundMe page set up by the couple, Mark D'Amico and Caitlin McClure. According to the prosecutor, the entire campaign was predicated on a lie. It was fictitious and illegal, and there are consequences, what other people would refer to as karma. Bobbitt was shackled by U.S. Marshals in Philly on Wednesday night, while D'Amico and McClure turned themselves in on Wednesday night and were released. All three Einsteins were charged with theft by deception. According to authorities, nearly every part of their story was fake. McClure never ran out of gas, Bobbitt never saw McClure in trouble, and definitely didn't give her any money. Prosecutors began investigating after Bobbitt said he wasn't getting all the money raised on his behalf. He later sued the couple.
Several Virginia Walmart shoppers were left in shock as they witnessed a kidnapping case unfold. But turns out the incident was actually a hoax for social media attention. According to the witnesses, a seafoam green sedan stopped at a Walmart in Midlothian. A man then walked over to open one of the car doors. That's when the trunk popped open and a young woman jumped out of the vehicle and ran off. Two men then ran out to go after the woman. After recapturing her, they forced her back into the car and sped off. On Monday, police released information about the incident and surveillance photos of the female and the males involved in the kidnapping. Strangely, the woman who was kidnapped and one of her kidnappers walked into the police station to confess the whole thing was actually a hoax, and she came to the station in her vehicle, which was the vehicle used in the apparent kidnap. Turns out that the woman and the four men, who are all either 19 or 20 years old, know each other. After eating dinner nearby the Walmart, the group went to the back of Walmart to plan the whole thing. They planned to film the staged abduction and reaction of onlookers and post the video on social media. Police said many manpower hours were spent on investigating the abduction, and now they're not ruling out charges against the group. Chester Police Captain Jay Thornton said it could be anything ranging from a summons-type offense to a lower misdemeanor. Thornton also said that they're glad this whole thing was just a planned event and not something that could have become tragic.
For more news animations and explainers, hit the subscribe and bell button to join the TomoNews family. Thanks for watching.